We are live, right on time. We've got Armor and Crab with us. I think Tanky said he would show up later. Night Lancer is at work, unfortunately. I wish him the best at work. We've got a few things that came out, either yesterday or today, both in news and in playtest package. So, a few things that we can talk about. Will it be incredibly interesting? We're talking Battletech, so unless you like Battletech, I don't think you're going to be finding it super interesting. But yeah, there's been a few different news floating around. The playtest is still going on, and they released Mobility Rules version 1.0 in Playtest Package 2. And the name of the file, if you look at the tab up there, is Playtest number 1 Survivability Rules. So whoever they have managing the websites and stuff is still, not very good. It shouldn't be doing that. But still, it's a thing. Hello to Point Man Frosty. David Glenn was there early as usual. I don't know if I've modded him. I know Icarus is modded, but I mean, it's not like we have too many things to do. Okay, the restream thing seems to work on my Discord, and it says that we're going live when we're going live. I need to figure out how to make it link the video now. That's the harder bit, figuring out how the darn thing works.
Step at a time, a step at a time.
Oh, I'm trying to get the integration between OBS and Restream together working. That is quite something. Raphelia's here. Hello, Raphelia. How are you doing? You're debating if you want to get the 3025 TRO. You've already got 4. You don't need another TRO 3025. And I mean, they fixed some stories in it and some of the lore, like the Zeus is no longer older than the Mackie. But outside of that, it's really not worth it. It's just more of the same. I don't know if anybody else has it. I know Raphelia has it. But I mean, that's because she's got the big package from the big money Kickstarterers. So I don't know if anybody else has it. Same with a lot of the current products. I don't know if anybody has them, mostly because they're either releasing or released. The fact that there's some of the PGI mechs that they're mentioning in there, so some of the configs from PGI that they're mentioning is actually fun and does make a few different configs more historically canon, and that I'm perfectly fine with. I always want more configs and more different things you can run. That's just a fun thing to have in games. And some of those PGI configurations are really cool to begin with. The carapace for the king crab mostly. What else is really nasty? There's the Grand Dragon with an AC-20. That one's also pretty darn fun to run around in. I don't know if anybody else plays MechWarrior 5 a lot.
My computer. I have a laptop, so I suffer in silence.
You suffer in silence. I play it on my PlayStation. I'm even worse. No, it runs fairly well on the PlayStation 5. On PlayStation 4, it chugged along, but it had a hard time in some of the missions. On the PlayStation 5, I never had any issues.
Okay.
So at least there's that. So I guess on the Xbox Series, the good one of the two, I don't remember if it's the X or the S, that's the good one of the two. It should run fine. So
I think I tried it. If I turned down all the settings, every setting to the lowest point, it kind of ran.
We can barely hear you. I'm not sure if it's your mic or...
Oh, this thing's acting up again.
try that. That better?
That's a lot better.
All right.
It could be very well be the usual forgotten to drop the mic and the mic boom down on your headset. That never happens to me, especially not when I'm on call at work. Never.
Worse. Mine doesn't even have that.
Okay. One thing that's cool about that Battletech Playtest package number 2, I do love that picture of the Bushwhacker. There's no question there. That is a damn cool picture.
Almost makes you want to run a lance one day.
Not the 1X. I'd go with the one with SRM4s. I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
The one with LRM5s. I mean, I don't need 2 LRM5s. It's just not good. Replace that AC10 with an LB10. That'll also be better. But I mean, it's a prototype of a prototype at that point. So
yeah,
it's also built in the periphery, so it's just take that thing, put it on.
I mean, the Midron XL LB10X is probably one of the most common gun past 3050. So anything that has a regular AC10 should have it replaced with a Midron XL at some point, because it becomes, everybody builds like dozens of them.
Everyone has an LBX10. Just gotta look for it.
All right. Oh, Real Mecha's Love is saying that the Mech Bay model kits are now out. I'm gonna quickly plug his product right here. I haven't seen the little ad he made, but I mean, this guy's been on our Discords and on our different things all the time.
Oh yeah.
And they are not Battletech kits. I mean, they seem pretty big. You do need to assemble and paint some of them. But I mean, like, all of us are painters in some way, so not too bad. Hunchback 2C, the War Mall. I do like the little handles he puts under the guns on the Warhammer.
Mm.
So when you're trying to get up, it doesn't damage the barrel. It's not a bad idea, and I think a lot of those mechs should have something like that to at least protect them a little bit.
Yes, the battle mace.
Don't think I'm sharing the sound though. I'll put that link in the chat at least. I'll have to check the pricing on it. I'm not 100% sure, but
nice and modular. Printer go burr.
So we have something we could put in if you want. We will see what is it, the pricing at some point. And I mean, this is a guy, like I said, that's been around. He's been doing art for a bunch of us, and just a general good dude. So go check out his video. Go check out his products. If you've got a little bit of floating money, might not be a bad thing. I mean, that's a great plug for a product. Oh boy, yeah, that's a thing that came out today too. A lot of things came out today.
Pain, suffering.
Get giddy. So, don't know if anybody else is gonna show up, or at least not just yet. So let's look at this playtest package number 2, Mobility Rules version 1.0. Basically, package 1 was the survivability thing, so they've kind of messed up the naming on there, but that's okay. It is one of those particular documents that shows very little self-reflection from the creators.
Not like the last one.
I mean, this is
Not like the last one.
But I mean, it's when you read the introduction and the rules and all that little bit there, like the bottom section of the rule part, we're going to look at it. Obviously, it's not very different from what we've already covered. But when you read the top there, it feels tried here. As I'm sure you'll agree, Battletech is one of the greatest game ever created. You don't need to put that in a document for Battletech. Just not very useful there. There has been changes, yes, I understand, and I mean they're trying to go through the history of the changes on there. Nothing too special, but there's like I said here, that little part here at the top, like your guys are trying a bit hard. Battletech was a beer and pretzel game in the mid '80s, a simple tabletop game. It was simple for the 80s. Let's go with that. I mean, we've seen some of those 80s games. They are a bit over. Hello,
Well,
how are you doing,
War
Mr.
for North
Swenson?
Africa still exists. War for North Africa still exists. And Unknown Armies? Much, much worse.
There's a few. I mean, there's bound to be some people still playing like old Warhammer Fantasy somewhere. But not that many, to be quite honest. I mean, okay, this is the bit that I feel like you guys probably should shut up right there. Myself and others working on a new book almost immediately came to the same general conclusion. History is littered with the ashes of game companies that replaced the core game with a much different, new and improved version, which was meant to meet the perceived needs or fads of the moment, but which succeeded only in alienating their fan base. They put that in that document.
You don't say.
This came out today, on the same day. A book about Battletech Gothic. It's weird, isn't it?
Pain.
I mean, and then they do talk about our own fine Alpha Strike system. Yes, you guys want to replace Battletech with Alpha Strike, and we know you guys, that's what you guys want to do. But, I mean, you can't admit it too hard, or people would get in trouble.
What do you mean? It's
So,
always
yeah.
been like this.
Oh, yes, it's always been like this. The company's never been better. It is completely normal. I mean, we've heard all the things. And then when things start really looking bad, it's, well, Battletech was always mismanaged. As the other, you're like,
Battletech has always been managed by CGL. Battletech has always been great. We have always been at war with Russia.
We've always been at war with East Asia. Yeah. Or Eurasia, one of the two. Let's just be at war with everyone. It wouldn't be easier.
That way you can fire in all directions. Or sue in all directions in this case.
Plays like almost everything else out there. Well, that's exactly what you're doing with Alpha Strike. Never mind. Everybody knows I don't like Alpha Strike. Some people love it. It's fine.
It helps when you want to play battalion-sized games. That's about it.
I mean, if you want to play that Italian-sized game, you probably should go with Megamech, at least at that point. But it's doable. But so they don't want to make too much of a simplification, and that is a good thing. From what we've seen from most of the new playtest rules, it's not really, they're not simplifying a whole lot. There's a few things here and there that they're poking at, but they're generally not massive simplification, which is what I would have been afraid of at the most originally. Every Battletech veteran knows that this can be quite time consuming and it can make simpler easily. The only way you can make things simpler is to automate it. And I mean, I would be perfectly okay having a very good app on my phone mimicking Megamech for most of the things and just punch in the numbers in the app and it does the math for you. That would be how you simplify the core game.
Gator? There's a Gator app.
Hmm?
I don't know where I got Gator app that does the attack rolls. Yeah.
You have a Gator app that does it? That's Mech Factory might do it. I know Fletch. I mean, you can use Fletch on a phone, but it's on a phone it's rough. On a tablet, it works fine. On a phone, I've had a hard time with Fletch just because it's a bit too small. Even though phones nowadays are immense, but we know. FAQ, is this a new edition? They're really, really working hard on saying that this is not a new edition. This is what they're really pushing. So they probably felt some pushback from people saying that we don't want a new edition, especially with how Warhammer does their edition all the time. But I mean, if you're changing rules like this or as much as this, yes, it's technically a new edition. It's the core rules are changed, the base system is modified, so we have to say that. But I mean, I'm okay with a bot doing my math, and Battletech has a lot of math. Okay, I'm okay with it cleaning things up for me, and I can just focus on moving my little bunums around on a battle map. They are saying that 30 record sheets will change due to an obscure piece attack. We already kind of looked at that. They're modifying a few things like the what was it? The blazer, not the blazer, the bombast laser. And they're removing a few of the melee weapons that were useless. So this is good, but they're saying there might be some stylistic changes that they want to do. I'm not 100% sold on that, but I mean, it'd be cool if every record sheet had its own mech as the record sheet, But
that'd be neat.
Someone tried to do that, but they used the art from the TROs for it. It didn't look very good, but that's because they were adapting something. If you pay someone to actually do it, that'd be neat, but that would probably end up being expensive. So, late summer 2026 release for the core rulebook is what they're announcing.
Believe it when I see it.
I don't believe it, first. And if that was the release date, all those rules we're looking at right now, they're already written. They're already in the book, and the book's already being printed somewhere. Mm-hmm. This is way too short of a release date for a full rule book if those things are in playtest stage. So I have a sneaking suspicion that, as I said earlier, this is a lip service kind of thing and not a serious kind of thing here.
Most of the first few paragraphs were lip service.
Will there be more information available made about keep an eye on Catalyst Game Lad's social media platforms. You could remove the S from there first because you only ever release stuff on Instagram. And since you've banned like just about everyone from interacting with you guys, it's kind of hard to keep an eye on your social media platforms. So, yeah, that's not the smartest thing to say once again.
Please give us more clicks. We banned everyone.
I mean, they need to justify paying Rem's salary, but poor Rem. Poor Rem. Okay. One thing they do say, proposed rule changes are meant to be playtested together. Please use all proposed rules in the package together in your playtest games. So they really want all of this to be integrated and not like most of the rules being like, okay, I want this check mark, this check mark, this check mark, this check mark. Okay, so we're having a bit of a pricing for the Mech Bay kits. $35 for the Needler Stash Stinger, $40 for the Hunchback and Hunchback 2C Notre Dame, $45 for the Wall Maul, which is the big one, the Warhammer clone there, which is probably one of the better ones, and the Skull Face for $50. I mean, those are pretty good price here. Yes, there's going to be shipping on that, and that might get a little bit tricky for some people, especially shipping internationally. But those are very reasonable price for a, snap-on model kit, Gundam style. You might have to put a little bit more work in than on a Gunpla because you're going to have to paint a little bit more if you want it to look great. But hey, I mean, most of us here, I would say, are wargamers and we're used to painting. So that's not a huge deal. And yes, I am happy to bring up the Mech Bay and everything like that as much as possible because, Real Mech is Love is a great guy and he's helped us all out quite a few times. So what is in the playtest package number 2 with blah, 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 blah? This one here. It's mostly stuff that we looked at. Water is more usable, so less PSRs for going in and out of water, unless you're running in the water, etc. So this here, most people were fairly okay with when we discussed it with the larger group. And I think it just makes the game, that will make the game a little bit more fun. Just to have more ability to traverse water is not too bad. Backwards level change, everybody already plays with that. So that's not a very big difference. Immobile definition change. That's a thing that we had a few different discussion on. The following are immobile. Building, X's. Well, that's should be the case. If your building is mobile, there might be an issue. Mechs reduced to 0 MP due to damage, so leg critical hits mostly. And mechs shut down or with an unconscious mech warrior. The one most people were having a bit of an issue with, things that are not immobile. Mech reduced to 0 MP due to heat. People were not super agreeing on this one. I mean, I'd be... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one at all.
I mean, the mech itself, you can still move your gyro, you can still move your arms, your legs. You're probably still able to, take a few steps. It's just very, very slow. I mean, lore-wise, I understand that you're not completely immobile, but game-wise, you're still at 0 MP, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, same with damage, too.
True.
I also forgot vehicles.
Vehicles is an all other... Well, I mean, vehicles reduced to 0 MP due to damage. I mean, you can replace mech with vehicle in these kinds of things.
Yeah, but I know a few people that are going to be, but it's written this way.
Just use the
true.
catch-all term units.
It should be unit reduced to 0 MP due to damage and unit reduced to 0 MP due to eat. Eight to hijack the tread, but word is that the entire Game Workshop mini line got leaked on the net. They did not catch it for 2 hours. It is proliferating now. People printers are going to go burr. That is a huge.
Whoa.
That is a huge thing. I hope that. I mean, I like 3D printing. I like printing my own stuff. Yes. But this year is a huge step compared to. I found an STL online made by Joe Blow Markles, and he made a proxy for a Gallant, and it's pretty cool. So I'm going to print it, and it's a proxy for a Gallant. And if I want to buy a Gallant, I'll go see Iron Wind Metal and buy it, right? So that's how I see printing a lot of the Battletech miniatures. I mean, I'm printing proxies, and Battletech has always been a proxies game in the end. And a few different things there. But I mean, if it's the actual STL or the actual print thing of a corporation, you are far more likely to get sued and far more likely to get in trouble. So CGL needs to watch out for these things. Every company that's making miniatures right now needs to watch out for this thing. Or, on the other hand, try to be more friendly or sell STLs themselves. Because 3D printing is still, a thing that a lot of people can do themselves. So
There's a couple other games like Marcher where you have to 3D print your own minis because I think they've only have one line that you can buy. So they just have a site where you just buy the STLs instead.
I mean, that's a good way of doing it. I mean, in the end, sell the STLs and sell the books. And you don't have to buy the molds. You don't have to buy the production lines and everything, because that gets very expensive very quickly as well, right?
Yeah. I think they're still like a small company, so it makes a lot of sense for them.
I mean, it's like the people doing trench warfare. They were selling the STLs and horribly printed minis. I mean, we've got horror stories from what is going on here with Trench Crusade, people receiving uncured resin, poorly printed or failed prints, simply put. I mean, 3D printing is fun. It's not always easy. There's some models that I print that fail 75% of the time. I had a hard time. I'm not able to print any Shen Yi. Like, I've got a Shen Yi that printed properly out of like 5. And even there, it was falling apart. So I had to re-glue it together. So sometimes it's not as easy. So just got to be a little bit difficult. Yeah, well, we're talking Battletech tangentially here. I print plastic proxy of metal that I've purchased. I hate lugging Iron Wind metal around. Well, I mean, if you have a Jupiter, I can understand why. That thing is legally a weapon in 15 states. But I mean, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to say anything. Print what you print, do what you want. But do think of your own legal situation if you're doing things. And if you're trying to sell somebody else's IP, there is a very high probability that you're going to get in trouble. Whether it's Battletech, Games Workshop stuff, Warlords miniature stuff, etc. And hey,
if Topps is willing to send the Pinkertons after someone over a booster pack, imagine what Games Workshop will do.
Oh, whoever leaked that stuff
sent the Pinkertons over a card.
Whoever leaked that stuff better have a damn good lawyer or just, disappear somewhere, because they are going to get destroyed by the G-Dubs teams. It's not even going to be funny. All right, well, that was breaking news. I don't do breaking news very often. um, this was already discussed. PSR modifier for gyro damage goes from a +3 to a +2.
Meh.
I
Take it or leave
mean,
it.
someone doesn't like falling at CGL. We know. And that's where a lot of those things come from. One thing that did change, foot actuator criticals. No PSR required due to the destruction of the foot actuator going forward. And your movement modifier is -1 to your walking speed. I'm not sure if that's how it currently works. It was just -1, period. So it's -1 to your walking, and you have to recalculate your running speed. I don't remember if that was how it was, or you just lowered the speed itself right now. That's not huge there either. The fact that you can still kick with a damaged foot actuator, you just have a +1 to your target number. So basically, getting a foot hit is now pretty much pointless.
Yeah. Just
I find that a
inconvenient.
little weird and very annoying, basically.
Especially since there's already, I think it's a PSR that helps fix that. So you're just adding more on top.
Mm-hmm. No one knows how to play Battletech. Well, that is a thing that we've learned by reading those playtest rules every once in a while, that we don't know how some things are supposed to work. The ATMs were a big thing, the advanced tactical missiles. We thought that every missile counted on its own like an SRM, but no, apparently they're supposed to be dealing damage in clusters. I never played ATMs like that before. So it is true that everybody plays the game a little bit their own way because, well, that's just how it is. There's too many rules. No, not really. It's just that sometimes you read the rules one way, your brother teaches you the rule one way, and you end up playing it that way for the longest time. Critical it. This one is really, really big. They're making a huge thing. Like, the only critical it that's really bad on the leg now is the IP. But if you take a IP actuator it, ignore all MP reduction from other critical it in the same leg, past or future, only apply the MP modifier for the leg, for the IP it. So
That kind of makes sense.
the worst one of the bunch is the IP, I would say. So that kind of makes sense. Reduce walking speed by 2. That's not much of a big difference. PSR, 1 per IP actuator destroyed. The mech controller needs to take a PSR when the critical it takes effect. This here, I would always just do all the PSRs at the end of the round rather than a PSR for every situation happening. But that's just me here. That's a modifier I would do in general, basically. Cumulative leg PSRs, yeah, more of the same. Leg destruction is no longer leg destruction. It just means that your leg is dragging along. I am not super sure about that, but that's how they want to play it, closer to the video game. It automatically ends its movement for the turn if applicable. When standing mech leg is destroyed, the mech automatically falls. I mean, if your leg's still there, just dragging along and such, you shouldn't automatically fall. I mean, your leg's still there. It's still, it's holding weight nonetheless, and the other leg's still helping your balance with your neuro helmet. So I'm not sure you should automatically fall with how they're writing this if the leg's not, blown off. So,
Which, is that possible then? Just because you have like arm blown off on a 12? Or did they want to also remove that?
my son is trying to stand up on one leg and failing. This is the thing that happens, yes. But I mean, if the leg is still there, it's still attached, but it's like having your leg completely numb. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, this is lore-wise. Without what you're writing, I'm not sure this kind of works. The rest is kind of what you add before. They put boat legs destroyed and tripod rules as well. The tripod is immobile if it loses 2 of its legs. Oh, okay. Quad mechs, just trying to apply all of this to your quad mechs. And standing PSRs, they're going to make standing up at -1 rather than +0. That's what they want to do. As we see from the vast majority of those rules outside of moving backwards, down a level, and the water stuff, and even the water stuff is related to PSR. All of that stuff is related to PSRs in some way. They're calling it mobility rules, but it's not really mobility rules. It's we don't like falling rules. So whoever designed this doesn't like falling and is doing everything he can to make people fall less and less. I mean, I had heard somewhere that they want to remove blown off completely. They don't even want blown off to still be a thing.
I don't know why.
But I haven't seen that anywhere in the official documents. Let's go with that here, either in this one or the previous one. So I'm not going to take, I mean, it might be in some of the other packages that have been distributed to some of the good people doing the playtesting, or the, what do they call those? The demo team agents. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, a mech that lost a leg completely probably shouldn't be able to move. I mean, unless you're opping on one leg, which is funny.
On one leg or crawling.
Hmm?
That or crawling, which I think you're prone and you can move like 1 hex.
You have one movement point or something to crawl.
Yeah.
As long as you're prone, you have that mobility. Or you can turn in your X to try to face something in order to make the shots.
Don't know how I feel about that one.
This is one of the harder things here in these playtest rules. We went over all of them already, so we're not going to spend that much more time here. It's just that we have an official document, and some of the rules have been either rewritten or clarified a little bit. So not fantastic, not terrible. Other news that came up, our good friend Brian Young announced a whole bunch of stuff because he's basically his own hype man. So he's trying to hype his own products, which is, I mean, it's okay, but he's pretty much the only guy doing it. What we're saying here, he's got 2 novels coming. Late 2025, I mean October 24th for Outfoxed, another great story about the Fox Patrol. I don't know how I feel about that. No, I know exactly how I feel about that, actually. And I am honestly not impressed by his naming convention. They're going against Lord Leon Anson, the son of the Duke of Tybalt, and he's a colonel of a unit called an Anson's Hawkeyes. You do not call another unit Ensign's something in Battletech. You just don't. Because Anson's Rough Riders exist. And you don't steal somebody's IP. I know it's hard to explain here, but pretty sure the Anson's Rough Rider would come in and beat the shit out of him just for using his name. So.
Yeah, probably.
And I mean, when I read it quickly, and I said, Caddy has to fight to keep her unit together and to keep them alive through all of Anson's attempt at sabotage, assassination, and destruction. Could Anson's resources really mean the end of the fabled Fox Patrol? First, they are not fabled. they've done what? They fought in some northern bit of the Jade Falcon space. That's all they've really done. That doesn't make you Fabled. Fabled is, Greydet Legion kind of thing. Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you say Anson's resources, Anson's resources, if it was Anson's Rough Rider, the Fox Patrol's gone. Just, he's going to buy out the rest of her crew, and she's going to be alone and probably be very sad.
Okay, but Smithson's Japanese bandits, that would work.
Smithson's Japanese bandits, those are cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't like Brian Young to begin with, so let's go with that. And the second book he's pimping right now is the Ghost Bear Civil War, and you read the thing, and it's a Brian Young novel with a Trueborn and a Freeborn Sibco cadets with awful names. And can he go back to writing for Disney again and writing for Star Wars?
How big is
my son is saying that both of those names sound like they're from the 2000 and 2010s post-apocalyptic novels that they were selling all the time. Things like Maze Runners and the one with the bow girl there, the Hunger Games and all that stuff. Ugh. And the other big thing here that Raphaelia is bringing up is a graphic novel. And wonder if the graphic novel is going to be kickstarted. We don't know because they don't announce anything. Won't come out until 2026. An official title and cover hasn't been revealed. What's the odds that this is going to be a Kickstarter, do you think?
Do they really think they could pull off a third one? Do they actually think that they could pull off a third one?
Well, they can pull off one for a graphic novel. It's completely different. It's not minis. The problem I have is that graphic novels in comics and stuff like that is not an easy thing to get in. It's not an easy game. Okay, it's not a thing that you can just start popping out. Some people try, and they generally fail. And generally, they have some really good artists and really good authors to try to prime these things. Oh, there was a graphic novel that was announced with the Mercs Kickstarter? Oh, boy. I didn't know that. I didn't buy the Mercs Kickstarter, so because I started having doubts already. Did they not release that graphic novel that they announced? Or is this going to be the graphic novel that they announced? I doubt it, because he's announcing it as if it's its own thing. Graphic novels are not easy. Even people like Razor Fist did a graphic novel with his Ghost in the Badlands, and that has gone not as well as he wanted. And he's a pretty big personality, and he's got a pretty big fan base, and he had a pretty good artist with him as well. So he had a good author, a good artist, and all that stuff. The guy here wanting to, everybody's seen Eldonius's work. One of the better guys, I think, working at CGL. If it wants to load. It's an ArtStation site, so I'm not 100% sure it's going to load properly. But I mean, he's the guy who did the covers for most of the current CGL books. So, I mean, we know the art-wise, they've got a guy that knows what he's doing. Now, the problem I have with this here, I haven't seen him do sequential work. I've never seen him do any sequential work. I've seen him do those funny gridiron pictures, those cool mech pictures. I mean, this one's really cool. I'm okay with it. It is one of the better ones out there. He knows what he's doing. But I haven't seen him do sequential work. By which I mean I haven't seen him do 20 pages of a graphic novel. I mean, I can get Rob Liefeld to do a cover for something, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to hire Rob Liefeld to do the interiors of a book. Rob Liefeld's expensive, by the way. I can't remember. He had quoted his rates on X once for a cover. It's in 6 digits. He is expensive. And if you want him to do the sequential work, to do the full comic, it is going to cost you in the millions, probably, for a guy like Liefeld. And Liefeld's probably still one of the biggest one. But I mean, getting an artist to do a full comic, and if he wants to go with, I'm really cool and I can do really cool art, yes, I'm fine with that. But are you going to be able to keep doing that it's a graphic novel, so between 48 to 64 pages? Will he be able to do that?
That's a fair question.
And worst thing here, and I'm just going off my head and off my personal experience, knowing about comics and dealing with Kickstarters and small indie stuff. I mean, if they want to release it in 2026, I damn well hope he's done with the comic, or he's like halfway through, because it takes a very long time to do all that art and the coloring and the page prints and getting your demo and being like, oh, well, the pages are not working or meshing as we want. We have to start pulling it off and start doing it a little bit differently inside. I mean, making a comic is not easy.
Most comics, how they have like teams of people, and each of those artists only do like one thing sequentially.
I mean, smart creators, if you're going to a larger, let's say a larger group here, if you look at, let's say, a Rippaverse comic, there's a lot of people working on the book. Yes, there's a main artist, but then you've got the letterer, then you've got the colorist, you've got the layout artist, etc. So you've got all of those things here. And we haven't even started on what might be an even worse bit here, which is the distribution. How are they going to distribute this? If it's a Kickstarter, I mean, they can pretend that it's all internal and all done by themselves. So that's easy, I guess. But, I mean, creative team, we've got 2 writers, an artist, a colorist, a letterer, a creator. But if you start digging a little bit more into it, there's always a few other people working in the back as well, especially like layout artists. I mean, you receive the prints and the stuff from the artist, and then you've got the layout person going like, yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to have to move things around. We're going to have to do a few things. Edition is sometimes a lot of work, and I know DC and Marvel doesn't like doing edition.
As an example, $1 million project doesn't go very far.
$1 million in comic can go very far. It can. But you need to have that money like earmarked and know what you're doing. What was it? I don't know what Eldonius's rates are. I know he does commissions, so we could look it up. And I mean, if he's still working on commissions right now, that means he hasn't started doing the art itself.
Even if you buy even if you were to buy like 100% of his time, he can still only make it so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't you rather have someone who's an expert at doing line art just do the line art, and then have someone who's great at doing the coloring just do the coloring?
I hope they hire a good team. Honestly, at this point, I hope they have a really good team, because that's going to be important. Oh, Catalyst will expand first graphic novel into a 4-volume set. Here, it's the Discord. I can share that. Graphic novels 2, 3, and 4 are unlocked for purchase. Blah blah blah. So they already had announced multiple graphic novels. I don't know if it's the same thing. And if we're talking 4 graphic novels, that's a lot of money. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but it's making comics isn't cheap. And Ripaverse is making money because our good friend Eric July knows what he's doing. And he has been doing it on multiple comics, and he's amortizing his price over stuff. Which one can I go and check that would be in the... There's no comics I can think of in the same kind of realm as what we're dealing with here. But Fund My Comic, probably the best site if you want to buy, to crowdfund a comic. So maybe CGL, if you're listening, Rem, my dear, if you want to kickstart that comic there or that graphic novel, usually pretty good at that stuff. Hello, Bruce D. I hope you have a nice day as well. Oh crap, the internet's... Can you guys hear me?
I agree.
I agree.
My internet's messing up. I don't know if I'm still alive. Can people hear me?
Still hear you.
I hear you. Test.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. I am not sure here. My internet was saying it was disconnected. Okay. Let's not worry about that too much. But if I remember right, like the Mike Barron's Bronze Star, 48 pages. He raised, I think, $250,000 for that book. And that wasn't, I mean, that covered the costs because he's not really paying himself, and for the art and for the coloring and stuff like that. And that was a 48-page book. Well, with an extension, I think, to 56. So it's a really good book, by the way. If you want to read good stuff, go read some Mike Barron. He is a great author and a very good comic writer, actually, which is another thing in this particular case that gives me a bit of a pause. Mike Stackpole, that's a good name. I don't like him all that much anymore. Rereading my old Stackpole novels, he is okay as a writer. I guess that's the best way to put it. He's not bad, but he uses the same tropes over and over and over. And you shouldn't be reading like more than a trilogy by Stackpole at a time, because if you do, you're gonna regret it. I would say.
Notice some things.
You never noticed?
You're going to notice.
Oh, you're going to notice. Oh yeah. Like if you read like a book by Stackpole, read something by someone else right after it and go back to Stackpole, you'll be fine. If you just read Stackpole through and through, it's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. A bit like Abnett in 40K. I mean, Abnett's a good author, but at some point you'll burn out reading through his stuff. Brian Young, did Stackpole ever do comics? I don't want to open any other pages because I don't want my internet to crash.
Computer, activate search bar.
Activate search engines. I know Brian Young hasn't written any comics, so that's a bad start. He's already a bad author, and I am not sure he's going to be doing all that good on comics either. because a lot of his stuff is descriptions of description with descriptions of descriptions, possibly taken from AI. So how will he be able to write a good comic is a very good question. Asian fetish and racist, hero loser material, acrobatic mechs, then clunky mechs in the same book. Yeah, that's Stackpole. That is Stackpole. And he likes is poor people being downtrodden, but then also being the best ever at everything. He has his own thing, and he did it in Star Wars
Okay.
as well. Don't worry, his Star Wars books are
Yeah,
the same.
just about to say, it
Mhm.
looks like the comics he did seems to be for the Star Wars universe. X-Wing, Rogue Squadron, stuff like that.
So is it adaptations of his work, or is it his work? That's let's not get too much
Yeah.
into it, but I mean that's the thing. I mean, I'm not Stackpole though. I'm not worried if he writes a comic book. If you read his stuff could easily be a teleplay or a comic book. With the way he writes, there's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of expletive dialogue. No, how do you say that? Dialogue that just explains things and how things are going. So he is pretty good at it. Timothy Zahn, they're saying that they want a short story by Timothy Zahn. So Stackpole pulled a, hey, old buddy, my friend, can you come and do a Battletech story? I am not worried about Timothy Zahn at all. He is a rather fantastic author in general. So this one here, I'm not worried about. Stackpole, I'm not worried with him writing a comic, but him teaming up with Brian Bry is more of a problem. And then Sam Maggs. Everybody here knows Sam Maggs?
Never heard of that one.
Hello, I am Belch. Welcome in. Sam Maggs. You don't know the award-winning author Sam Maggs? Let's see if my internet crashes. Okay, not this time. The award-winning author of My Little Pony - Transformer. Yeah. You look at her profile and everything. She grew up in a geeky fandom, etc. From one of the big private schools up here in Canada.
University of Western Ontario. Say no more.
There you go, right? And he began a writing career as the weekend editor for Abrams Media Geekosystem, which was absorbed by the Mary Sue. Yeah. I know Brony stuff because My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is one of the greatest piece of artwork and storytelling in television. And actually, I am not kidding. It has actually really well made. There's a few seasons in the middle that are not very good, but the overall thing and the overall idea of it is actually really good. But that's me being a literature major here.
Magic is heresy.
No, that's another way to look at it. Okay. So what is she known for? Gems in the Hologram at IDW, which was canceled. Rick and Morty at Oni Press, which is a basically just tie-in comics. This is still ongoing. It's not that bad. IDW's My Little Pony, which was they got it pulled from them because not only were they bad, they were damaging the IP. So they got that pulled from them. Transformers by IDW, which they also got the license pulled from them, and it was given to Skybound. Invader Zim, this one I am not 100% sure what the history on that one is. She worked on the Critical Role comics anthology and Captain Marvel Action. Yeah. Is there anything in what I've just said here that screams Battletech?
Yep.
As a feeling I have, nobody has any answer to that, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's Amazon's national bestseller, Barnes and Noble bookseller top pick. Like, she's got a whole bunch of awards that mean absolutely nothing, and she ticks every single
Just warning signs.
required check boxes.
Red flags.
This is red flags all over. And I am very sorry, but this is competing with Land and Sea Paradise for Land and Sea. $38,000. That is not a whole lot for a full graphic novel, by the way. This is not, but I think he was on one or two other websites as well. So I'd have to find the whole thing combined, how much they actually got on this one. Honestly, My Little Pony was the most Battletech of it. Sadly, yes.
I mean, Transformers. There's giant robots.
Transformers, but have you read IDW Transformers?
No.
With the Transformer that has a baby incubator inside of his body, and is raising it to be like trisexual robots, kin, whatever. And yeah, IDW Transformer was bad, like really bad. Like, people who love Transformers didn't buy the books because it was that bad. And the Transformer people buy quite a few things. Okay.
You said words. None of them went into any sentence that I would ever say.
But I mean, there's the other problem. Let's face it here. Transformers at Skybound is currently the biggest comic. Okay, outside of the big two, maybe, but even compared to most of the big two comics, these things are selling gangbusters. These things are selling just insanely well. I think they're on the 8th printing of issue 1, which is a thing that never happens. And Daniel Warren Johnson won like all the awards for it. Like, every awards that you can think of in comics, they've pretty much said, like, okay, we're going to give it to Daniel Warren Johnson because his Transformers stuff is just that good. And it is really good. Not just the art, but the story. It's grim, yet very... it's grim but refreshing at the same time. Like, when they win, you feel like it's a real win and things like that. So there are still big robots being done, and this is really well done. Yes, the Transformers are doing wrestling moves on each other, but that's because Darren Warren Johnson loves doing pro wrestling stuff in his comics. And the next wave, I mean, he did 1 to 24. The next wave is done by Robert Kirkman himself, the boss of Skybound. And he said himself, like, I am not doing I'm not going to be doing the Invincible or the deconstruction of the story like he loves to do 3/4 of the time. He said, no, I am going to follow up what Daniel Warren Johnson did. So
that's nice.
This is what they're competing against. Oh, and Skybound's G.I. Joe, which is also the same kind of feeling. This is going to hurt them a lot. And this is one of the rare cases where I can say these 2 Eisner Awards in 2024 he deserved completely. Eisners are generally given to just about everyone, but no, these 2 here really deserved it. So this is what they're competing against in the comic sphere. And it's not Sam Maggs that's going to sell them on that, and it's not Brian Young that's going to bring them there. What they should have done is take a truck full of money, go to Daniel Warren Johnson, and be like, we need a Battletech comic. How much do you need? And just pay him. Does the Transformer talk count as our lamb allotted time for this broadcast? The Starscream was important in the first few comics, so I kind of guess. I mean, it is quite something as far as the comics go. And, I mean, we could be talking quad Vs as well, I guess. But I mean, I had in my G.I. Joe stuff that I had written up, I had started to put in some Transformers in because it just works together. I mean, it is. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that Skybound turns around and buys the Transformers right off Hasbro as well if they really want to make money, because it would work if they did it. I am 100% sure it would work. And yes, there are Battletech comics that already exist. Are they good? Not always. And they are certainly not cheap. $30 for a near mint, $20 for a near mint minus. $20. I am not sure what that thing in the back is. We're not in Gothic yet, guys. There were a few different things that they made over the years. There is this one here, Battletech 1, very fine, which is not a good sign. $65 in 3D. Got a cool Battle Master here with the gun pointed out. I mean, I'm sure you can find better prices somewhere else or on another thing. This is the site I pulled comics from. That was in 90s, based on the TV show instead. I mean, Bone Shadow has a few Battletech comics. I mean, I would love to have those, but not at those prices, honestly.
Plus, there's a lot of other web comics that already exist for Battletech that people just do.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say that wouldn't be competing with this, at least. I have serious doubts about this here. If it's those 4 graphic novels that they said that they were going to do for the Kickstarter, I mean, they're 2 years late on that as well. Not the best either. And if that's a different plan than those 4 graphic novels that they promised in the Kickstarter, and they do a Kickstarter for that one, I might have some issues. So this is another bit of weird news that came in. Well, this we kind of knew. I knew they were coming here, but I didn't know how bad those would be. It's Brian Young. You shouldn't ask for too much. And here's the first non-box set thing for Battletech Gothic. A Brian Young story about the Fox Marauders, because that's how you write Gothic stuff. You make it like grim and dark, and
then you put your self-insert in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to put your self-insert in it.
It's free because no one would buy it otherwise.
Well, I mean, they could have stuck it in Shrapnel. They're doing a Shrapnel for Gothic in December, I think I heard. So there's that coming as well. And from what we've heard of this one, it's basically a Brian Young Fox Patrol story, but everything is grim, everything is dark, uh, everything's meant to be badass, and kind of fails at it. And I think that's the problem with Gothic more than anything else. I was talking about that on the Discord. Once again, I'm putting my English major at on. They don't know how to write those stories. Raphaelia had given us the breakdown and the story from the book that comes with the Gothic box, because nobody else bought it. To be quite honest, I don't know anybody else who bought that darn box or that received it.
Yeah.
Sorry, my glasses are completely fogged up. I don't know if there's anybody that's really interested in it either. It's another thing.
Outside of maybe using them for pirates, but again, it would just be the minis, not the whole box set. I'm not really interested in what could. What annoys me the most about it, are, clearly, they re-examined the proto-mech rules. Instead of Gothic, they could have done a Wars of Reaving book, and instead of Abominations, we could have had more proto-mechs.
I can hear the rage in your voice there. And I understand that. And I am honestly unimpressed by what they've done with Gothic in terms of rules. I mean, it's infantry, battle armors, and proto-mechs. That's all it is. And they're weaker because they're weak to blazers, because we have to make blazers a thing for some reason.
They'll catch on, guys, I swear.
Oh, the Wolf Girl licking her master and fanfic with Steiner being World War II bad guys and the Archon being a curvy dummy mommy. Yeah, it sucked so bad. I don't want to be too mean, but yeah, it doesn't sound very good. But the real problem I have with both what came in that particular box set and this particular story is that they don't understand how to write for, you know, the grim dark future of darkness, etc. The books that sell the most for Warhammer 40K are the Dan Abnett books generally, and all of them always have that feeling of camaraderie, brotherhood, and fighting against an oppressive universe, but trying to do the best while at it. You read the Gothic stuff, or I don't recommend you read the Gothic stuff, but you read the Gothic stuff, and it's, let's make things as dark and as grim as possible. Have Caddy Ferrero shoot one of her other pilots in the back because that's what evil people do, and we're in the Gothic universe. So let's do meanie stuff rather than what you would see in a Games Workshop book. But Games Workshop has better editors. Games Workshop has a lot more money. Games Workshop has better authors, which is a sad thing to say because Games Workshop doesn't have that great of authors to begin with.
And they've been at it a lot longer in that subject line.
In that particular subject matter, but I think there's been Battletech novels for longer than 40K novels overall. I'd have to check because I honestly do not know. I'd have to really have to check for that one here. But Fox Patrol in the dark world here, and she wants to fight the monstrosities that took our own world. And she found the mech. It's the exact same weird stuff that he's done. She's got a Phoenix Hawk with a Gauss rifle. I have no idea how you build a Phoenix Hawk with a Gauss rifle. It is
What?
Yeah, it's a Phoenix Hawk with a Gauss rifle. And you have to remember they're working with Succession War technology, not with anything else. So I am not 100% sure how you make a Phoenix Hawk with a Gauss rifle when you don't even have XL engines.
Computer. Boot up the program.
Let's shoot up the programs. Yeah, that is what I should do here.
Let's see.
Should
Mega
maybe
Mac
have to
5050.
downsize the engine.
You could downsize the engine, but apparently the mech's super agile still. And of course, they call it a Pixie, which I don't know who started calling the Phoenix Hawk a Pixie. It's a P-Hawk or a Phoenix Hawk. I don't know who decided that it was supposed to be called the Pixie. It doesn't sound right to me either. An XXL engine in 3025. Yes. We're going to start sticking XXL engines on battle mechs in 3025. Make things really expensive.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't... Stripping out all the equipment.
Does it have anything else?
We're still...
Flamers. She's supposed to have flamers on it as well.
Was it a light Gauss rifle or just Gauss rifle? What the hell? Even a light Gauss is way over.
Yep. Welcome to Brian Young writing something for Battletech Gothic. One of the other problems with Battletech Gothic is just that, though. We don't have a TRO. We have no idea what the tech is or what tech is available.
Mag shots, maybe?
Sometimes called the Pixie due to phonetic resemblance to its designation PXH. I guess. Light Gauss. I mean, I would be okay with a light Gauss in 3025. If you've got regular Gauss rifle, the light Gauss is, rather than the 30 centimeter ball of iron, you're shooting a 15 centimeter ball of iron. So the difference is not huge there. But
even then, it's 3 tons over. Unless we
remove all jump jets, make it a 1K. We've got 12 tons.
Okay.
And of course, the Gauss rifle is not available in the Succession War era stuff. So we'd have to go like at least standard. And
even with
standard still doesn't give it to me. Oh, it's because of the year. Let's say 2750.
I had to drop all the jump jets and reduce the speed to 5.8 just to cram a light Gauss with some ammo. You could get a Gauss rifle with a ton of ammo.
Well, she runs out of ammo during the story, so maybe. But she does jump as well, so...
At some point, you're just going to reinvent the Hollander.
Yeah. Unless they're trying to reduce number of jump jets to 3, so you just made a worse Shadowhawk?
No, it's because Brian Young has no idea how the rules actually work. And he originally wrote the story with a Kit Fox, and he was told by the guys at CGL once the editor got the book was like, yeah, but there's no Kit Fox in Gothic. So rather than, rewriting the thing to actually make it make sense, he just Control F, Kit Fox, and put Phoenix Hawk instead.
Pain, suffering, agony even.
That's the only thing I can think of. There's no other way of handling this than that. Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But I mean, that's us being nerds and thinking that having the technology be important and mattering in a show or a TV series or a thing about technology and battle is required. You know, that kind of stuff.
All right.
I mean, with all they're focused on blazers, just make a Phoenix Hawk with a blazer. There you go. You have a Phoenix Hawk with a blazer. It's fancy. It doesn't have any other guns because you can't fit anything else, but you've got a blazer on something.
Best I could do is 3 jump jets, reduce speed to 5.8, light Gauss with 1 ammo, and 2 flamers.
I mean, that is a way of building a Phoenix Hawk, but I don't think I'd call it a Phoenix Hawk at that point. I'd call it something completely different. I mean, why not actually create a mech? Just, you know, you're writing for Gothic. Have fun. Create an actual mech. Call it the...
call it the Pixie.
Call it the actual Pixie. Yeah.
Yeah, make your Pixie mech. Yeah, I keep using the name.
I mean, that's where it is, right? I mean, RKT saying, like, I'm glad I went with it. I went not for me for Gothic. And that's really most people. And that's most people even on the CGL servers and on the places that are more friendly to CGL than, you know, where I live normally. So that is terrible. Especially since they dropped a lot of money on Gothic. It can't have been cheap to have done all of that. Internal consistency is bloody important, which means they should have had a TRO Gothic at release of the box. Rather than that 3025 reprint for the 12th time, they could have had a TRO Gothic. It's all your TRO 2020 3025 mechs for Gothic. They could have just done that. I mean, that would have been the smarter thing to do, in my opinion, here. I mean, every single people is doing what Raphelia is saying here. It's great for periphery weirdness or pirates or for Solaris crazies. That's what people are going to be using those mechs for. The Gothic blind boxes are probably going to sell pretty well because people are going to want the mechs just to have them for those weird things. But they're not going to be playing Gothic.
If I got them, it's for pirates.
I mean, the only thing people are doing is like, that could be cool for pirates, right?
Mm-hmm. Or since it's got a bunch of weird, Gothic architecture stuff going, you could paint it up white, yellow, and gold, and do the Pope Force that's trying to kill all the Dracs, push them out of Fed Sons in Ilcon right now.
Yeah, that would be an idea, but I mean, is it really going to? Is there going to be a whole lot of people who want to do that as well? Like, they want Gothic to be its own thing. Ophelia saying that the retailer confirmed that the number of sales they reported at convention included retailer pre-orders. And I mean, they can't have had that many boxes because the biggest retailer in Quebec and, well, Eastern, let's say east of Ontario, let's say, reseller, it didn't have that many boxes to begin with. So they're sold out, but it's basically because it's probably going to be FOMO. Most people are going to, the actual whales are going to buy it, but everything else that comes into sale later is just going to rot on the shelves. Kill Team boxes, I wouldn't say that. There's some of those Kill Team boxes that do sell fairly well and keep selling fairly well. I've seen some of them move, decently, but I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't compare the two because the people at Games Workshop, I mean, their FOMO boxes, people actually fear me missing them out. For Gothic, I'm not sure people are going to be like, oh no, I missed the Gothic sales.
Mm-hmm.
The resizing, I'm not sure they're resized. I'd have to have the two models one to next to the other to see if they really resized the model for Gothic and the other compared to normal. I just don't have them, and I'm not interested in buying the box itself. I might buy one or two of the blind boxes just to check them out, just to see the quality of the model and things like that.
I can understand when you want to greeble up a model and then not have those details disappear or get printed that you want to scale it up.
Because there's a lot more detail on them, or they want a lot more details on them. So, Raphelia is saying that they are very resized, which is, and RKT saying very. That's
not encouraging.
I mean, already have problems with some of my printed models not being the right size. I wouldn't want to have, official models not being the right size next to them.
Yeah.
Like Primaris all over again. That's a nasty thing to say.
Now, Devil's Advocate, technically, it isn't a real thing. It is just a projection on a holomap. But still...
That's a way of looking at it. And I mean, the X's are supposed to be 30 meter in size, and the mech's not 30 meters wide. So... details are only on the top. Everything waist down is not detailed. No.
Oh,
No.
They just gave up halfway through.
Phoenix Hawk and Gothic as reasonable proportion that I'm okay with. Some of the medium mechs are a little bit too small in my opinion every once in a while, so that might not be a bad thing. Who knows? I mean, this is the kind of thing, once again, I'm probably going to buy a couple boxes just to check the quality, check how they are. But I'm not going to buy the main box. I'm going to buy a few blind boxes. I'll buy a lance. Like, I'll go to my store and I'll be like, hey, I'll buy a lance of your stuff. But even there, the price on those things is unenticing. Did I? No, okay. Imaginaire. That's my store. That's where I go for everything nerdy, literally. Yeah, my internet's having a hard time while streaming today, which is weird because it was working fine earlier.
I think they hit.
I was just trying to get to the search and look for Battletech.
I think they hit some of the places on that now. Let's see.
They tripled the size of the store in town by they closed the one downstairs and they moved it upstairs, and they tripled the size of the store. So I'm really happy about that.
Did they
750 USD where I'm at?
No, okay. Now it is breaking up if I try to share and do too many things at once right now. So I'll just put it on the on my picture thing here. But I mean, the price on the Gothic stuff is 20% more about than the regular. That's a lot of money for a thing that I already own. Because Phoenix Hawks, I have a few already floating around. Talk just that have a few spikes on the top of it and not on the legs.
You still need to get a Phoenix Hawk
I'm not sure if the stream is working fine now. But if I'm, there's a lot of things no, it is. I am broken. Sweetie Z. Whoa. Okay, I'm not sure if my stream.
I guess it is.
Yeah. Oh, Canada, why is your internet like the... Yeah, looking on even the places where I go buy my stuff online, and they usually have discounts and stuff, it's easily still way too expensive compared to the other stuff. And yeah, even the blind boxes.
Oh, I'm back.
Returns.
I have returned. Things were burning up. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know why my internet's having a hard time. Generally doesn't when I'm streaming.
And we can barely hear you right now.
Asus is also going to be more expensive, from what I heard. Nope.
You could have completely too. Okay. I should check. There's some local MGS. That's some Battletech stuff. If they'll actually bother. So.
And he's gone.
Gone?
But not forgotten.
My back.
With the right microphone?
Maybe.
Volume's a bit low.
Okay, my mic's just being my
There it
mic. Okay. I'm not going to be sharing anything. I'm not going to be trying to open anything else because my internet is just not working. And with the speed of internet I'm paying for, I'm going to have to go complain. No, I'm not going to be that bad. If I'm unable to work tomorrow, though, I might have to. But all right. We were saying Gothic stuff's expensive, more than the basic stuff. Is it as bad in the US as in Canada? Because I know in Canada we probably have to deal with tariffs on top of things or whatever. So
I was just seeing on, what was it, Fortress Miniatures, they were going for, what was it, $750 right now for the blind boxes.
how much is a regular, Clan Invasion or
Let's see. Old salvage boxes.
750 is not terrible, but it's a lot more ear.
The old ones, let's see, that was just for the RV. The vehicle ones for the current mercenaries is going for $9.
That's two minis, though.
Yes, that's 2 tanks, and then the mechs themselves were going for $5.99 each.
So $1.50 more for Gothic.
Yeah, and the legendary blind boxes are $8.
Good lord. I mean, the legendary boxes are already not selling. I mean, that's the ones that they're all in stock everywhere with multiple units.
Yeah.
So they gambled on that thing as well.
And of course, they're all out of stock. Blind boxes, they're always out of stock.
Oh,
Christ.
someone's paying Shitsville micro pesos. Okay, Australian dollars. That's probably even worse. We had a guy talking about trying to buy stuff in Turkey. It's just infeasible. He's just going to print everything. We had a Japanese guy show up once. Same kind of thing. Like buying in Japan is just, you just don't. So I have a feeling it might not be super feasible here. Um, Aces they announced. I don't know. I haven't seen they announced, but I haven't seen any boxes, sales, or anything. It was supposed to release this month or last month in September, so it's probably going to release by Christmas at this point. And they said
Yeah.
originally 120 for it, 120 US for it. So the price in Canada will be around 600, 800, something like that. Well, probably not that much, but it'll be, really high. This one has minis that I'm actually interested in, though. So that's the more annoying bit of the two.
Yeah.
And yeah, they pushed it back. I'm not surprised here that they pushed it back. I mean, they're pushing everything back. I mean, when it's DreamPon 9 here in Montreal doing heavy gear stuff and they're pushing stuff back, I mean, it's a single guy in an office in Montreal doing everything. If he pushes stuff back, okay. You're the only one doing everything. But CGL is supposed to be a big business. They're the second biggest miniature game after all the Warhammer stuff. At least that's what they keep saying, though. So, yeah. Oh, Raphelia's name is in orange in YouTube. That's probably because you're the top chatter in the in the stream, which is perfectly okay. But I mean, there's weird. I mean, what else have they announced for a near future? All the Shadowrun stuff's being sold to third parties. They've got Voltron that I haven't heard anything about since they finished a Kickstarter.
There's this 4-2 because it's Dominion. It has a Viking 2C in it, supposedly.
Those probably cost them quite a bit of money as well. I'm not 100% sure. It's probably going to make its money back though. Those I'm more inclined to think that they're going to make their money back on.
Yeah, because it's minis. That's the big
two
thing.
Aces boxes, so
it's more minis. Even if you don't want to play the Aces game in particular, it's minis you can't get in the Force boxes.
And it's a lot of new stuff too. You've got a new Kraken, you've got that Thunderbolt 2C. I mean, you've got things that are not common, not like another Marauder, another Atlas, rarer stuff.
Yeah, we're at what, 3 or 4 sculpts of Marauders alone.
There's one.
I know there's 4 sculpts of the Archer. 3 or 4 sculpts.
There's at least 4 sculpts of the Archer. One in the original lineup. One in a Mercenaries box. And 2 in Legends boxes. At least 2 in Legends boxes. Maybe even 3. Same with the Marauder. You've got it all over the place. And the Marauder 2C. You've got 1 or 2 of them as well.
And how many Timberwolves are there now? 4 or 5?
We can't hear you at all.
Sorry. I was trying to check if there's. I think there's. We're now at 4 or 5 different Timberwolf scopes.
Oh yeah, and there's like 4 or 5 of them, but there's only one different configuration. The others are all primes, if I remember right. So yeah, not very good here. I mean, RKT's kind of right here, saying like it's a fun little game companies play now, where they go gangbusters. There's nothing we can't do, and then they mess up, and they're like, "Oh, feel sorry for us. We're tiny." Yes, and the way you do that is by doing Kickstarters over Kickstarters over Kickstarters, which is what CGL is doing. I mean, if they were confident that My Hero Academia game that they announced, it wouldn't be a Kickstarter. It would be like, we're releasing My Hero Academia. There's the game, there's the minis, let's go. But no, they're going to do a Kickstarter for a major international brand. And people are only going to buy the game for the minis that they're going to put next to the statues. And I hope those minis are top tier, some of the best quality ones ever, because I can get a Bandai or a Band Presto statue of any My Hero Academia characters for anywhere between $30 to $250, depending on how much I'd want to put down. So, I mean, they could have just done a game with, play with your Band Presto micro statues you have. They already have bases and everything. I mean, you could just do that. Same Timberwolf and Alpha Strike and Clan Invasion. Yes, that's the same mold that they used for those two. Okay, so everything next year is already basically announced. So 2 years ago. Oh boy. But I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, they might surprise us with something like they did with Gothic, keeping it close to their chest. But I hope they didn't waste another probably, million and a half on another alternate universe already. With all the stuff already down the pipe. And Gothic not even being supported, because they need to support what they already have rather than try to create new things to try to sell a product to people that people might not even want to begin with. I mean, relying on Kickstarter is actually not a good sign for companies. It depends on what you're doing. When Skybound did the Kickstarter for the G.I. Joe Omnibus, well, yeah, you're not going to find that many people who would buy omnibuses of the old G.I. Joe comics. But there was going to be enough that you can make a Kickstarter out of it. And you'll probably be making money off of that. But if it's to finance your entire line of product, I'm not as sure. I'm actually very happy that they didn't do a Kickstarter for Battletech Gothic, because that would probably have been catastrophic. Then again, could they try to do another alternate universe, but this time try to push it as a Kickstarter? I mean, they said they originally said during Mercenaries that they wouldn't be doing any more Kickstarter for Battletech. Then they walked that back at a convention, and now we've got those alternate universe stuff coming up. So
I don't really trust much what they say at this point around that.
If they did, then it would fail at the offset, then they would stop or cry until it works.
I mean, would you be able to finance, let's say, I mean, one that we've heard that they're wanting to do is anime Battletech with the clans. Would you be able to kickstart that? Is there enough people gullible enough to trust CGL with their money again? That's part one.
Yeah.
Part two, I mean, would you be able to pull those anime nerds in? Maybe if their My Hero Academia stuff works fairly well, maybe they'll be able to have a foothold with that.
I think, if I recall correctly, the other one that they mentioned was like rockets and ray guns, kind of a weird, wacky Western thing.
At least that would be very different from regular Battletech.
Yeah.
But then again,
if you already have the Blue Star Collective, right? That's already ray guns in Western.
Yes, but
You already have the Marshall.
Yes, give us the Marshall and what's that? Oh, the front reaches. They have this battle armor that looks like it's wearing a
the
cowboy
10-star.
hat. 10-star, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
would that
just give us a pack of that?
yes. No, well, I mean, if they do rockets and ray guns, if they do the 1950s style stuff, I mean, that could be great. But I have a very nasty feeling that all they'll do is, we'll take the standard Battletech stuff and just press it down with that on top of it. They're not going to reimagine anything. They're not going to create new houses or a new setting altogether. No, they're just going to take what exists and smash it down and try to sell it again.
Oh boy, another Marauder with wrinkles on it.
Oh, of course you'd be getting another Marauder redesign, but then it'd have like little baubles on it and stuff like that because it's ray guns.
And all the lasers look like radar dishes.
That would be funny, at least. I mean, I would buy those minis because they would be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Steampunk in 1940s planned. Like, come on, guys. Like, steampunk has never worked. Let's be honest. Has anything steampunk become huge enough that it has a market? War Machine was probably the closest thing you had to a successful steampunk setting. And they still couldn't get, comics, movie rights, and all that stuff going.
An Iron Harvest?
I thought that was Diesel Punk, not Steam.
Which one?
Iron Harvest?
Iron Harvest is more diesel punk, yes.
Yeah.
That one worked okay, but even there, it never reached, anything major.
The closest thing I could consider steampunk, and even then it's not, is BioShock.
BioShock is biopunk. It's its own thing, kind of. Space 1999. I mean, give us mechs like that. Give us the Space 1999, Thunderbirds, that 50s, 60s look to technology in Battletech. Like Battletech's very 80s. Bring it back 20 years. Bring us back 20 years and give us models for that. But that would probably be too much work for CGL. Let's sadly be honest there.
I have people who are honest with their expression, and I don't think they could do that. I think they're too irony poisoned at this point.
I think that's the problem. That is quite likely the problem. And I mean, if they add a design team and some very smart people, let's go with that, working for them, I think they'd be able to pull it off. But with what they currently are putting out and the kind of people that they're hiring, they're not going in the right direction. I mean, if you wanted a diesel punk Battletech, that would be doable. I mean, you could go with that. Like we said, ray guns Battletech, like 1950s, 90s, 60s sci-fi Battletech, that would work. I mean, you can make it work, but it would require actual work. And you couldn't just take the Battletech setting, put it down, and try to apply the coat of paint on top of it that's a different setting. No, you'd have to actually design new mechs, design new characters, actual have aliens. In 50s, 60s sci-fi stories, you will need actual aliens. So you have to go there.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. Another wave of armed industrial mechs. We'll do the Dark Age again.
I mean, if you want, I mean, the industrial mechs and a bunch of like diesel punk stuff, you could have ICE mechs all over the place. That is doable. I
The
mean, it
rating.
is a thing you can do, but you need to put the money down and you need to put the brains down on it to actually do it. I've
It's
seen
just
some
like
people.
you want the kind of guys who like looking at trains to design your train network and work on trains. You need to get those guys.
Yes, you need to get
Yeah.
Tylenol Americans. That's the best people to get for that particular kind of job. Actual Tylenol Americans. It's a mean thing to say, I know, but you need the turbotist that's going to sit down and be like, yeah, but that doesn't work because the plasma rifle is mounted on the arm and the ammo is mounted on the leg. So that won't work. We need to move this around. And, you need the people who will be that bad at it. And I mean, Battletech is a game system. Okay, the setting of Battletech is tied to the game system, but Battletech in itself is a game system. If they wanted to do all that AU bullshit and all that stuff, treat it as a game system like D&D. Okay, we're moving and we're creating ray gun punk Battletech. We're not going to have a new Marauder with little dishes for arms. No, we're going to have a brand new mech for that. And we're going to have a new setting for that. There's going to be aliens. There's going to be all sorts of weird things. And humanity is going to be fighting Ming the Merciless. And Ming the Merciless will have his own battle mechs. And you'll have your own battle mechs. And everything will be there. You'll roll on the same table as you would on normal Battletech. But it would be brand new machines. That would work.
So give me a model for those beast-mounted infantry. I know they exist.
Mm-hmm.
You can have flying beast. You can have like infantry mounted on pterodactyls.
yeah, it's a proliferate thing.
I mean, there's wonderful things you could do just with Battletech as a game system rather than as a tied up system. If they want to do that, they know where to come. They can come to my Discord and we'll have a bunch of people be extremely autistic about it and we'll fix it for them. I'm not even going to charge them all that much.
It'd be a very good way or excuse to bring out some of the older agri-mech designs back and just say, yes, in universe, this is a TV show, and they used all these older agri-mech things as stunt doubles or whatever, so we could actually play with or film with kind of like the Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
With the guy in the suit, except it's actually like a slightly larger miniature city you're filming in.
I was also thinking how, like in a lot of historical pieces, how especially the German tanks, or they played like in Patton, all of the German tanks are by Persian or by Patton tanks, or where it's just they just put some cardboard and wood over a T-55 and call it a Tiger. many times, so it's just that. So it's just an agromech that's been dressed up.
Yep. I mean, off the top of my head, the Cattle Master alone already looks like it kind of has horns or something on it.
Yes, it does. It's a cute design.
Yeah. Boom. There's your villain mech for whatever, and just have, I don't know, Battletech Power Ranger episodes or some nonsense.
Oh God, that would be so awesome. That would be so awesome. I can, like, how can three guys in their basements or in their RVs think of better stuff than a company that has tons of money?
Yeah, I do have that Centurion painted up in Power Rangers colors.
And again, just preface it It's not a alternate universe. It's a bloody TV show of whatever broadcasting company that also did the original Battletech cartoon.
No.
As a
If
dude.
it's Super Sentai, it has to be from the Draconis Combine,
Okay,
not from the Tarkad Broadcast Corporation.
It's based on a true story, very loosely.
Based on a true
Heavy
story.
using.
There's someone with the same name that existed at some point. What was it? Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho are both based on true stories, and they're actually based on the same true story. It's that
Details.
based on a true story can mean a lot of things, guys.
The 5 Urbies come together to form a single annihilator.
There you go.
There you go. 2 Hermes 1s mixed together to become an Hermes 2. Maybe not.
The little Hetzer tank that could, and suddenly it's a scorpion.
It's the Etzer Scorpion. I like the Etzer Scorpion. I need to find that model and actually print it. I know it exists. It is an Etzer with scorpion legs. It is awesome. Well, no, it's an Etzer, not an awesome, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Voltron Irby, yes. I mean, Voltron Irby is 5 rotundas turning into a mech. It's the car Voltron. I mean, it is very sad that we can have better ideas than CGL just by shooting the shit.
And by caring about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The harvester ant. It literally just looks like a freaking giant crawfish going around the
that
ground.
one's also really cool.
Boom.
And I made a version.
There's another.
And I made a version with a supercharger and a mask, and it went something like 160 kilometers per hour.
It's a modified tractor.
Skitter.
As for tractor pulls,
it's a combine with legs. Skitter.
Skaven Battletech. Yes. Skaven Battletech would be hilarious. You want backstabbing and you want Game of Thrones in space? Skaven Battletech. Right there.
You have the clans.
Oh boy.
He has a point. He has a point.
The entirety. You have
no, there's a difference between the clans and the Skavens. The Skavens
the
are even less honorable.
Invasion goes exactly like how Skavens fight.
That is
they
true.
More or less fight in the general direction of the enemy. They're like an orc bot too.
All right, we will call it a night. My voice is almost gone. I do have to work tomorrow, unfortunately. I thank everybody for watching. I think the Gauntlet video should be up for channel members. If the thing didn't break, it didn't break. Okay, we're good. So the Gauntlet video is up for channel members. I am going to be working on other stuff as I go on. I'm trying to paint a whole bunch of Baliuses, and no, I'm not painting them in My Little Pony colors. That would be hilarious, but I'm not that good of a painter. And Raphaelia, yes, you did help quite a bit. Your knowledge of some of the behind-the-scenes stuff at CGL is always very well liked. So everybody have a good night. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to stream Grim Dawn just for fun, depending on if my internet wants to behave or not.